Hey everybody, it's Preston here, aka Godzilla Hawk, and welcome to the 64th Q&A that I'm doing. I did try to do a schedule. I don't know if that really worked or not. I tried to do a schedule. It didn't look like it was working, so I was going to try to do that, guys, to kind of get a set time. But unfortunately, I guess it didn't work, unfortunately. So, it is what it is. So I'm here live. Figured I tried this for about 10 minutes to see what happens. If nobody shows up, then I'll stop. Um, that's what I'm that's probably what I'm thinking. So I guess we'll go ahead and just talk a little bit. Um, go ahead and talk about this very quick. So New Japan Pro Wrestling is officially returning. Is returning next week after being on hiatus for 3 months due to the pandemic. New Japan has officially announced they will be back starting next week on the 15th. So on the 15th, they will be doing a special show. I do not know the match card. They have not announced anything yet. But then starting the next day on 16th, they will be bringing back the New Japan Cup. Now, the New Japan Cup was supposed to be one of the scheduled events earlier this year, but it was canceled due to the whole pandemic. So, with that being said, the New Japan Cup is officially returning. It's not the same, obviously, because of the situation at hand. A lot of the foreign wrestlers to Japan are not going to be able to wrestle due to the flights being canceled and all that. So guys like Will Ospreay, Jay White, Tama Tonga, Chase Owens, Juice Robinson, David Finlay, etc., will not be involved into the tournament. But they have announced the New Japan Cup tournament. They have announced the brackets, and on top of all, the winner will go to Dominion, the main event Dominion in August, where they will fight Naito for both heavyweight and Intercontinental Championship. So, as what it looks like is going to happen is, for the first few weeks of the New Japan Cup, there will be no fans in the attendance. And then when it starts getting closer to the finals, they will start letting fans back in. But they won't let in every single fan in. They will only let in maybe 40% of capacity of fans, or 25%. So very low. But they are hoping to get some fans back. Japan's situation has been decreasing, so New Japan is going to probably start letting fans in very slowly. I'm assuming once everybody is into the building, they're going to have rules, of course, you have to wear a mask. But then again, Japan, where half their audience wear masks anyway. If you ever go to a Japan show, any type of event in Japan, you would know that most people wear masks anyway. So the only difference now, you're going to be seeing everybody wear a mask, possibly. They'll probably take tests. So you'll probably be seeing more masks. Probably taking a test to make sure you're cleared, because they don't want to let anybody in that may have the virus in their system. So as of right now, that's the plan, and they'll have the New Japan Cup finals with some audience, and then and Dominion I think will have an audience, but they're not going to fill the entire arena or the stadium. They'll only get fit maybe 4,000 people, maybe less. So with that being said, the New Japan Cup, that is coming up next week. I'm very happy. I'm not gonna lie, I've missed New Japan. I really have missed New Japan a lot. So the fact that we finally get back starting next week, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a breath of fresh air. I'm really looking forward to it. And so I don't know what's going to happen, because with 3 month break, I mean, there was a lot of stuff that was supposed to happen. A lot of stuff was being set up, and because of the 3 month break, some storylines got halted and things might have to get rewritten. If you remember, Hiromu was supposed to fight Naito in a special champion versus champion match. Zack Sabre Jr. looked like he was going to challenge Jon Moxley for the U.S. title, it looked like. And Kota Ibushi and Tanahashi are the tag team champions. So, again, a lot of stuff's been happening due to this virus, so things got halted. So now it's almost like a clean slate. So with the New Japan Cup, we're going to hopefully get into an idea what's going to happen. Now, with that being said, I don't know what that means for some of the wrestlers. One of them being Jon Moxley, because Jon Moxley is the current United States champion in Japan. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to strip him the title again like they did last time, except that time it was because of the I guess a storm happened and he wasn't able to make the flight. But this time, I don't know they're going to be able to do the flight by then and bring him in. So if they want to keep that championship, they might have to strip Moxley of the title again. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But I know Zack Sabre Jr. I think is going to be the only foreigner in this cup tournament, which is kind of weird. I'm assuming I think he lives in Japan now. That's the only reason I can think of. Because a lot of the flights have been canceled or halted, or they're not doing any traveling due to the whole situation at hand. So that's why guys like Will Ospreay, Jews, and Jay White aren't going to be there. So it's going to feel a little weird without some of those guys on there. But it is what it is. And hopefully we can, at least in Japan, it'll get better soon. And we go back to Japan full time. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. So that's it. So New Japan is officially returning for next week. Again, guys, if this is new, you could just leave a question or comment in the chat room or in the chat box, and I will get to your question or comment if you have any. Again, I figure I'd go on here for like 10 minutes and kind of just like shoot the shit, just kind of just talk about what's going on. And if nobody really seems to be interested, then I'll just end the video off today. But I figured I'd give you guys some time. Again, guys, I apologize. I was going to try to do a schedule thing, but the scheduling thing was not working. I don't know what's going on. I'm using Streamlabs. If you don't know, I'm using Streamlabs OBS. So I try using the time schedule so it pop on, so it'll give you guys some time to kind of notice. But fortunately, it's being a piece of crap, so I have no idea what's going on. So, like I said, so there's that. Again, New Japan's coming out next week. I'm really looking forward to see what happens with that. And then apparently we got some more news about we got somebody in the chat that's King Cigar 94. I'll get to your comment a little bit. I want to hopefully get some more people on here. I guess I'll briefly talk about this. So huge news for WWE. Raw's head writer Paul Heyman has officially been replaced by Bruce Pritchard. Bruce Pritchard, can't talk, who runs SmackDown, is now going to be running Raw. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of scared now. Now, I know Raw is not the greatest show. In fact, it's been largely pretty bad. But there have been some guys and girls on the show that Paul Heyman has been behind and have been pushing very well, or trying to push. With Bruce Pritchard now on Raw, I don't know what that's going to mean. So that's that. So me personally, the Bruce Pritchard thing, I'm really scared. If you thought Raw and SmackDown was bad, I think it might get a little bit worse. I hate saying that. I don't trust Bruce Pritchard. He's known for being more of an ass kisser. That's the thing about Paul Heyman. He's not as big as an ass kisser as like someone like Bruce Pritchard. Heyman will usually stick to his own guns, and he has his own way of booking guys and girls in certain feuds and stuff like that. But Bruce Pritchard is known for being more of an ass kisser, and that's what Vince McMahon prefers. He prefers the someone kiss my ass, and just I want this idea, and Bruce would go, okay, no problem, let's do it. Like that's him. So having him on Raw now, if you think Raw's gonna be on tolerable right now, I think it might get a little worse. So I'm a little scared. I am a little nervous, but we'll wait and see what happens. Starting next week. But it's not looking too good, guys. I am scared. So we'll go Singadar, Keen Cigar 94. I cannot talk today. I found out Sami Zayn will be feuding with whoever wins the IC title, which I'm happy about. Yes, I'm a Sami Zayn mark. Well, at least you didn't say Sami Zayn Stan. At least you're using more proper terms and not acting like a fool. So give it credit. Well, if that's the case, then that's a good thing because I'm hoping the guy he doesn't get buried because he's staying home. So if that is true, that's good news. Jay Houston, how was NXT Takeover in your house, in your opinion? Well, if you know, Jay, if you don't know, I already have a review up on NXT Takeover Your House. It's already up on my channel, so if you want kind of know my thoughts about it, you can check out that video there. But if you wanted my honest opinion here, I thought it was good. Again, I would definitely say it's one of the weaker takeovers that we've had, but that doesn't mean the show is bad. Like I said, there has never been a bad takeover thus far. So, but if you want more detail, kind of more thoughts about the In Your House, I do have the review already uploaded on my channel. Go check it out. Cigar Nova probably didn't even do anything for Raw, to be honest. He didn't try to push stars, but it's sure Vince disagreed with his idea, but now it's going to get worse. Well, I would say that's not, well, I agree, Bruce Pritchard being in charge, it's going to get worse, but remember, there was some influence with Paul Heyman. Remember, Cedric Alexander. There was a time Cedric Alexander was being pushed. He was going to get like a mid-card push, and then you notice they just dropped him off because Vince didn't like that idea. He didn't want to push Cedric Alexander, but that was a Paul Heyman move. He wanted to push Cedric. Drew McIntyre, I believe that was more of a Paul Heyman move. We've heard reports saying that Vince wasn't entirely sold on McIntyre winning the Rumble, and obviously he changed plans. Obviously, Paul Heyman is a big advocate for Drew McIntyre. Not saying Vince isn't a fan of his, but you can tell there's more influence on the promos from Paul Heyman. Probably he's probably one of the reasons to put the title on Asuka, maybe. That's a more realistic idea. Aleister Black, that could Vince, the Aleister Black thing, that could be a Vince McMahon move, but that could also be a Paul Heyman move. Like Paul Heyman may be a fan of Aleister Black. And Andrade, because remember, I think Andrade was supposed to drop the US title a lot sooner due to suspension stuff like that, but I think Paul Heyman kept the title around him because he was a fan of Andrade. So I would not say Paul Heyman had no influence on Raw, because in my opinion he did. Even the bad Raws, we could tell there were some influences by him. But I do agree that majority was probably Vince, and Bruce Pritchard is going to make things a lot worse. I do not trust Bruce whatsoever. Ricky Roma, that is Fafafuli. Nice to see a revival in a feud that will use him right. Yes. Yes, so they're not known as a revival, they're FTR. Their debut match I thought was very good. It was kind of refreshing seeing them. And they wrestled like an old school tag team, which again, that's part of their gimmick. They're old school wrestlers. And, that's why I'm saying, I think something like FTR versus the Young Bucks, I think is going to be might be one of the greatest tag team matches you'll ever see in your entire life. Because the Young Bucks, we all know how great they are. They're great in their own way. They're high flyers. They like to jump around. They like to speed things up and be unpredictable. While the Revival are more old school. It's basically going to be a matchup where it's old school versus new school. And sometimes you get the old school and new school type of battles and fights and matches. You tend to get really memorable matches. So the Revival and Young Bucks is going to be, when that match happens, it will. And I think that match should be at All Out. Uh, so when that match happens, that match is going to kick ass, and Revival and Young Bucks are going to show the world why tag team wrestling matters still. Mark my words, the minute they do that match, that's going to steal the entire show. Nothing else will top it. How long before Village Dream becomes a job or after he gets called up? You know, Vince got bored with these NXT guys. You know, normally I would come around and disagree, but you're not wrong. And that's why I do not want Dream to come up to the main roster, because I know he will be jobbed. Just take a look at the guy and his gimmick. The minute that gimmick comes onto the main roster, he might get pushed for like a couple weeks, and then next thing you know, he's on main event. I mean, this is the same guy, Vince McMahon, that looked at someone like EC3 and got already sick of him. And granted, I'm not the biggest EC3 fan, but when you look at the guy, you think, this is a Vince McMahon guy. He's got charisma. He's got a great look to him. He looks like a star. If they're not even going to treat someone like EC3 right, what makes you think they're going to treat someone like Velveteen Dream with that gimmick? I know ever want to see Velveteen Dream get called up to the main roster, because I know the minute he gets called up, they're going to get bored with him. Like you said, they're going to get bored with him. It's going to be very quick, and I'm going to be fuming when that happens. So I'd rather see Velveteen Dream just stay on NXT. Hell, if he's not going to go on NXT, I say send him to NXT UK. I would rather see him at NXT UK than the main roster at this point. Until the old man is done with the company, he's not in charge anymore, I do not trust him touching Dream at all. Did you hear about Adam Cole going to? Well, I've heard I've heard numerous reports. I have heard reports saying that Adam Cole might let his contract expire in August, which is up in August. And yeah, he could let his contract expire, and more likely he will go AEW with his fiance Britt Baker. But I have other reports saying that he already signed a contract for 3 years. The thing is, though, we have no idea. We have no idea what's happening. We can make all these assumptions all we want, but at the end of the day, it's all on Cole. It's all on Cole. It's what he wants. And he's still NXT champion. You know, and like I said, maybe he drops the NXT championship to Karrion Kross. And then that takeover day is his last day. He decides to let his contract expire and leave. I'll tell you right now, if he decides to go AEW, that's a huge blow for not just NXT, but for WWE. Adam Cole's a star. And that would really suck, but it would be a total gain for AEW. But I have heard the reports, but as of right now, we don't really know the answer yet. Nothing looking forward to for Backlash at all. I do hope Braun loses his belt. Well, I do want Braun to lose his belt too, but I do not want him to lose it in a shitty handicap match to Miz and Morrison. That would be stupid. Look, Edge and Orton, I'm looking forward to it, despite them overhyping by calling it the greatest wrestling match ever, which we all know, if we all have a brain, we all know it's not going to be the greatest match of all time. We know that. But, you know, I am curious of seen Edge and Orton because we have not seen Edge in a regular one-on-one wrestling match. So I'm curious to see what happens with that. So it's not like there's nothing on Backlash that's going to be good. But I can understand why people might not want to watch a show. They just look at the card and the bill just kind of go, ugh, like there's a few matches I'm curious about, but I don't blame you for not wanting to watch a show. I mean, Alex from Alex's World, or Deluxe Man, whatever you want to call him, he's flat saying like I don't want to go to Backlash. I'm not going to watch Backlash. I'm not going to review it. That's his decision. With me, I'm going to watch it, and I'll probably do a review on it. I'll give my thoughts, and if it sucks, it sucks. But again, I don't blame you guys if you guys don't want to watch. What was appearing on Nia Jax? That's Jay Houston. I want her fired. That's not me exaggerating. That's not me joking. I want her fired. I hope she loses badly to Asuka and she's immediately fired the next day. That's not exaggeration. I want her fired. Gone. I do not want to see her ever again. And not just in a wrestling ring, period. This woman is consistently hurting and injuring people, and I'm sick of it. The minute she knocked out Kairi Sane on Raw and bust her open, I went, she needs to be fired. No, let her train back to performance. No, she had that chance. She fucked it up. She needs to be fired. I don't care. If you're going to be this reckless, you've been in the WWE for 5 years, and you have not learned anything, and you're going to continue to injure people, you don't belong in a ring. You keep Nia Jax around, it's only a matter of time before she actually does kill someone. And at that point, what is WWE going to do? Just say, oh, shit happens. Just keep her around because she's Samoan. No. She almost has killed superstars. She's injured countless superstars, and I don't want to see anybody getting hurt. I don't want to see anybody getting killed or possibly killed by a woman who doesn't know how to do shit. This woman does not even know how to throw a fucking punch. On one hand, it made Becky Lynch into a bigger star, but on the other hand, it still injured her. She can't throw a fucking punch. Nia Jax needs to be fired. There's no coming back. She had a chance to get herself better. She clearly didn't. Either she's too lazy, or she's too stupid, or she just doesn't care. But clearly it's showing. And I'm sick of her. I want her gone. She's injures people. I wouldn't want to be in the ring with her. I'd rather fight Brock Lesnar or fight Minoru Suzuki. Hell, I'd rather take on King Haku in a real fight than fight Nia Jax. That's how scared I am. If I'm every woman in that locker room, I'd be scared shitless to mention it going, oh, you're going to be a match with Nia Jax. I start riding my wheel and going, I love you guys. Here's my money. Just, Nia Jax needs to go. And Kingsguard not going to happen. Oh, okay, you're responding about the Braun thing. Yeah. Did you hear Revival talking about the gimmick Vince wanted to give them funny hats? Yeah, I saw the talk of Jericho. When I heard that, on one hand, I thought, no fucking way. But on the other hand, like, it's fucking Vince McMahon. It's fucking Vince. This is the same man that once came up with the idea for a storyline of him being the father of Stephanie McMahon's child. So, something like that. Those designs does not surprise me in the least, and it shouldn't. All I have to say is thank God they didn't wear those designs. Otherwise, that would have been the death of them. You think they were already dead before the minute they did that? Oh, they're dead. They are screwed. They are not coming back. Thank God they're out of there. Braun Strowman has been ruined. He didn't even earn the Universal Championship. He should have won it back in 2017 against Brock. Yes, that statement is 100% fact. When Braun Strowman was as hot as was in 2017, he should have won the Universal title then. But no, he's been on decline. He loses too much. He's lost a lot of momentum because of it. Yeah, he won the championship. That made no sense. Keep in mind, the original plan was to do Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. But then they changed their mind and said, let's give the title to Goldberg. Let's give the title to Goldberg, so we'll have Bray Wyatt lose to a suplex by Goldberg at Saudi Arabia. And then we'll do Goldberg and Roman Reigns in a Battle of the Spears. And then Roman Reigns beat Goldberg almost like a passing the torch. But instead, Roman's like, screw this. I don't want to be part of this. Heads home. And then they go, well, what's the next big thing? Let's just have Braun Strowman win. After God knows how many times being buried and being shafted. And now he wins the title. It's like, what was the point of even giving the title to Bray Wyatt or having Bray Wyatt drop the title? So you're right. Braun has lost a lot of momentum. It's not the same. When I look and see Braun Strowman with the title now, I'm just like, great. But when's Bray going to get the title back? When's Cesaro going to get his time? I'd rather see Cesaro be champion. When will you feel safe to attend a movie or a wrestling event again? When it's safe to go out. When they announced that it's safe to go out, and it's when they announce when it's time to go. It's safe to go outside. You know, they make the announcement that public places will start opening again. That's when I'll start being safe. I'll go about my day normally. That's how I honestly will be. But until things start getting better, I can't go to the theater. I can't really go to a whole bunch of open places. And I said, there's going to be a long time before things start getting back to normal. It's not going to be another month or so. This could go all the way to the end of the year or all the way to next year. This is going to be a thing. And we got to get used to it. Thoughts on Jeff Hardy's car accident and SmackDown since they're mocking Jeff Hardy's past issues. I mean, at least it has realism kind of to the effect, which I like it when storylines kind of go more realistic. They have realism to it. But again, you know, a lot of people, you know, didn't care for it. I'll say the opening was different from a lot of SmackDowns, so it felt fresh. But dude, see, I don't know how to describe. I don't know how to describe or talk about this. I really don't. It's really, I'm just not a fan of Jeff Hardy, and I keep losing respect for the guy because of his issues. So, I mean, on one hand, I do kind of like the storyline in terms of like the open segment, but at the same time, yeah, it is distasteful in a way because this isn't something that happened like years ago. This is something that happened recently. He got arrested. I think he still has a court date for his last DUI. So yeah, on one hand, it's intriguing storyline, but at the same time, yeah, it's a bit distasteful. It's pretty distasteful. Goten Huygens. Do you know Omega Red? Omega Red sounds familiar. I'm not too sure. Oh, I'm not too sure. Is that a wrestler? Is that like a gaming channel? Yeah. What was the greatest wrestler intro song ever? Greatest wrestler intro song? Do you mean theme song or do you mean intro like to like a wrestling show like a Raw or SmackDown? Um, because if we're talking about like wrestling intros, I would say Raw's 2002 to 2003 intro with the Cross the Nation theme. But if we're talking about like wrestler, it might be Christian's theme song. His remix version from 2009 all the way to 2014. Wireless is actually safer than people think. Yeah, we'll tell Broccoli that back in 2002 to 2004. Yeah, maybe now, but back then, like he injured people, and people told stories that he was pretty stiff. He's a stiff worker. But today's cancel culture, full of do you think we'll ever see controversial style gimmicks of wrestling? I think there'll always be controversial things in wrestling. I mean, there's controversial things everywhere, media, movies. I don't think it's ever going to end. It might get limited, but again, that's kind of an odd question to ask. It's just no, it's kind of been kind of our thing. It's been part of movies, media, stuff like that. Will it be limited? I could see it being semi maybe limited to a certain degree, but it's not gonna be. I would say it's not gonna be like eradicated. Like for example, like if they did like something like Booker T and Triple H storyline from 2003, the whole like Triple H racist storyline, like if they did something like that, oh, yeah, like they're not gonna do that again, like especially now. But I don't see them like just getting rid of controversial storylines altogether. I think they will be limited to try to be careful what the kind of storylines they do. But like in terms of racist stuff, like I agree. I don't think we're gonna get really racist storylines anymore. Especially in today's world, like what's happening right now, I don't think we're gonna get racist storylines. They'll be way too distasteful. So I should be world champ, but they're not giving the opportunity. No, no, they're not, and that's unfortunate because the guy's great. Because the guy's great. He's great in the ring. He could be a star, but Vince just doesn't see anything in the guy. And unfortunately, I don't think he'll ever be a champion. At this rate, Cesaro might. At this point, Cesaro might as well just let his contract expire, just go somewhere else. And he doesn't have to go to AEW. He could go back to Ring of Honor. He can go NWA. Hell, I think him in New Japan sounds fucking fantastic with some of the athletes over there. I would love to see Cesaro over in Japan, honestly. What happened to Liv Morgan's push? I guess it's on hold at the moment. Like, I don't know. It's just it's like it's weird because she's on TV sometimes, so she's kind of getting some wins, and then she's not on TV. I don't know. I like Liv. I think she could be a major player for the company, but it's almost like they push her a little bit, then they kind of pull back a bit, and they pull back. I'm not gonna say she's buried. She's not buried yet, but she she does deserve some more opportunities and some more focus on. I mean, heck, look at Bianca Belair. When's the last time we've seen her on TV? Ruby Riott? When the fuck has Ruby Riott been on TV? But yet, that one poor woman's been fucking used as a scapegoat, as a sacrificial lamb. So I think basically Liv Morgan's push is fortunately like on a hold right now. She's not buried, but she is kind of stopped at the moment. And I think during this time, like when I believe Shayna Baszler walks out new women's champion, I think they need to start pushing Liv Morgan as like that one or new top baby faces of the company. That's what I believe, and I hope they start pushing her, start giving her more of a serious run. I don't know if that means a revamped gimmick change or what, but I do like Liv, and I think there's potential money in her. Can we do something with Shinsuke Nakamura? Yeah. Because as of right now, Nakamura is just another guy on the roster. He's not special. This was one of the biggest stars in Japan. Not just in Japan, but in the world. He was one of the biggest names. Because of NXT, he has this aura about him. And then he gets a main roster, and he's just another guy. He's just another guy. There's nothing special about him. He's just another guy. If you're not going to do anything with Nakamura, he just seems like a placeholder type of guy. Oh, he's just an extra body we can use. Just get rid of him. I would rather him go back to Japan. Go back to New Japan. Because in New Japan, he was a fucking star. He was one of the biggest stars in that company. Rank these managers from best to worst. Bobby Heenan, Jim Cornette, or Paul Heyman? Well, I never watched a lot of the Golden Era, so unfortunately, I don't know where to put Bobby Heenan at. I've heard he is one of the greatest, so I'm going to take everybody's word on that. But I have seen a lot more Paul Heyman. So I would say Paul Heyman number one, just because I'm more familiar with him. I go Bobby Heenan just because I've seen some brief highlights of his, although I never really watched him a whole lot. I'll take everybody's word that he was one of the greatest managers, and I think he deserves to be pretty good. So I'll put him number two. Again, I probably would put him at number one, but again, I never grew up on that Bobby Brain Heenan era, so I couldn't tell you. And then, of course, Jim Cornette last. Do you think Moxley's living up to the hype he did? I would say he was. He definitely was. He was. But I think due to the whole virus thing, and it kind of put things on hold for Moxley, and unfortunately that sucks. Because Moxley was on a roll, but then I think once this virus started happening, he kind of he was kind of put on hold, and he's not as special as he once was. I'll say if you're comparing his WWE run, I think Moxley's doing a lot better. His promos are a lot better. There's a lot more free range for his matches, but I do think that his push, his momentum kind of got halted for a bit because of the situation at hand. But yeah, no, there was a time though, like he was red hot. He was one of the top guys of the company. He was one of the most loved guys there. Are you better than Fandango? Why would that do? Well, Fandango actually just returned. He's on NXT. Uh, well, for like a few months ago, he was injured, but no, he's back now on NXT. He and Ty Breeze are now the no more contenders for the NXT Tag Team Championships. As a matter of fact, they're challenging Imperium for the tag titles next week. So he's back. And in terms of dancing, he's got me beat. I'm not that great of a dancer. But when you look at him, he looks like he's been at a few strip clubs. A few strip clubs. I'm convinced that guy was a former male stripper. I am convinced. The stuff that he does way too well. He looks like he's had experience. So we got Willfire number one. I guess his message got retracted. So basically, I'm all cut up at the moment. I know I got your. I know I got another question, Ricky, or Fufu, whatever you want to call. I just want to see get a few more questions so we can kind of get some more questions going. All right. Well, we got Will Ferrell. I'll do yours. Okay, I guess I'll start with you now. If Triple H takes over WWE, who would you want to see take over NXT? Probably maybe Shawn Michaels. Although he kind of runs NXT UK, but maybe Shawn Michaels. Maybe the guy with William Regal. Maybe Matt Bloom, Road Dogg. Maybe kind of collective unit. So I do think if Triple H does decide to run the main roster, that's going to be too much for Triple H, and he's not going to be able to control NXT. So yeah, obviously somebody will have to take over NXT. Like I said, maybe you can have Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, maybe let Matt Bloom or Regal take over. I think those would be some interesting choices. Will for number one. Do you see Will Ospreay going to AEW? Maybe one day. I think maybe one day. But right now, I think he's happy in Japan. He's happy working in New Japan. If he does go to AEW, it's going to be for the competition and because of his girlfriend, Bea Priestley, wrestles there now. Which, by the way, where the fuck is Bea Priestley? I need my Bea Priestley. I miss her. I miss my Bea. Jim Cornette says Adam Cole could be the next Shawn Michaels. Do you agree? He has that potential. Cole has that aura about him. You watch him, he has this superstar aura about him. And yeah, obviously the biggest thing that's going to keep him from probably getting a big push on main roster is his size. Because let's all be honest, he's not a big guy. He's pretty small. He's not like Rey Mysterio small, but he's not the biggest guy. He's not Chris Masters or Bobby Lashley big. But what he lacks in his size, he has in wrestling skills, selling, charisma, mic skills, character. So if that's really what Jim Cornette feels about Alan Cole, I think, yeah, he could be with the right booking, which they're doing great with him on NXT. But if he decides to go on main roster, whenever that may be, he has that potential, but it's just how they're going to see him. So look, like, we know how Vince is. He might look at Cole and just go, oh, God, he's way too small. Let's not use him. Vince still has that mindset of, we need big, sweaty men. That's still his thing. Adam Cole, unfortunately, does not fit that bill. I would love to see Adam Cole get a major push, but it's all what Vince wants. It's his way or the highway. That's how it's always going to be until the guy either quits the company or dies. That's unfortunately that's how it's going to be. Will Shawn Michaels ever learn how to operate a computer? Oh, yeah, when I saw that, I was like, okay, that's okay, whatever. A little cute little scene, but then I totally forgot about the infamous moments of Shawn Michaels trying to use a computer and just can't figure it out. So I did not catch that little Easter egg until I started seeing the memes recently. Shame on me. I don't have an In-N-Out burger where I live. Is it as great as everyone says it? Yeah, in my opinion, it's my favorite drive-through place. I think the burgers are really good, and I love the French fries. I'm a huge fan of the French fries, especially when they first come. When they first come out, they're warm. They taste really good. For me personally, it's awesome. And with me, usually I just get 2 hamburgers, ketchup, mustard, pickles only, and then fry with a drink. Nothing special. Like I said, I love their burgers. I love their fries. That's me personally. I do love it. But there are some people out there that don't like In-N-Out, which I question their sanity, but you know, that's their opinion. But I personally am a big fan of In-N-Out Burger. I am a huge fan. Haven't been there a while, but I am a fan. So looks like we're all caught up at the moment. I'll go ahead and give you guys a few more minutes to kind of start seeing some more question comments if you have any. And then I guess I'll go ahead and end this stream soon. I'll probably end this stream soon. Almost an hour in, so pretty cool, pretty good. So let's see here. So I'm trying to figure out what else to say here while we wait for some more people. In the description, again, you can go follow Kimberly and Mike Shoop on Twitter and Facebook. They're in the descriptions down below. They're independent wrestlers, good buddies of mine. Unfortunately, they've not been posting a whole lot due to the situations in hand. But still support them. You know, if you're a big fan of like modeling photos, stuff like that, please support Kimberly. She's got 2 accounts. One of them is her modeling account if you're interested. Great stuff. She's got her own other account, wrestling account with personal stuff, and then got her husband. He's got a Twitter account and Instagram account. So please check them out if you're interested. Give them support there. Links are in the description of this Q&A. I'm trying to figure out. Like I already talked about the Bruce Pritchard, Paul Heyman thing. I already talked about New Japan returning next week. Thank God. I'm so happy for that. Trying to see what else. Firefest for AEW is going to be a 2-night event. So it's not going to be actual pay-per-view. It's just going to be like almost like a Batch and Beach kind of special episode. With all the gyms goes, how do you stay shape? Just kind of do my own thing. Just don't overeat. You know, just try to eat, you know, more balanced meals. You know, don't overeat. You know, move around. Don't just sit at home all day. I mean, at least I work. No, I'll occasionally, like, I'll do a handful of push-ups or some. Oh God, where are those? Go again. Planks. I sometimes do a few planks. But I don't really work out a whole lot. I just try to not eat as much. Because I'm going to say, I'm getting bigger, but I'm not fat. I'm getting I get sometimes a little bit of a big belly. I'll admit that, but I'm not fat. So I just basically try to not eat too much, try not to eat too much junk food, you know, try to eat balanced, you know. If I'm going to have like sandwiches, for example, you know, I try to have some milk, and then maybe some like fruits or vegetables with that for more balance. And sometimes I might have some protein and stuff like that. So it's kind of do it. Okay, nothing really special, nothing like groundbreaking. Just do you think Gallows and Anderson will show up in AEW? They'll show up when they ever want to show up. Trust me when I say it, don't be surprised to go back to New Japan. Because AEW is the big block now, that doesn't mean everyone's going to be want to go AEW. They're again, when New Japan is starting to come back, some wrestlers might want to start going New Japan. Maybe when NWA comes back, they might want to go NWA. Troubled Path. So this guy's new. Just got back from the gym. Nice gym opening up again. Now it's called my basement. LOL. Traffic in New York has really picked up again. So things came back to normal. I thought gyms were essential. New York, I don't think New York is that. I haven't really kept on the updates. I know we're still not 100% done. Like, slowly some places are opening up. That they are slowly opening up some places, but we're not out of the blue yet. Like, everything's not back to normal yet. They'll come from... anyone from New Japan I might have heard of? Well, I mean, that's where Kenny Omega came from. That's where he became a big star. Kazuchika Okada, one of the biggest names in wrestling. He's the face of the company. The Switchblade Jay White. You got the sons of Haku, Tama Tonga, and I think it's his brother or stepbrother, Tonga Loa, who you might know as Camacho from WWE. Hiroshi Tanahashi is one of your bigger names there. Like I said, Moxley wrestles there. In fact, he's their United States champion. Sanaa is there. Sanaa is used to be in TNA. He was a former X Division champion. Another guy, actually, yeah, I just had another game. Kenta, formerly known as Hideo Itami, wrestles in New Japan now. Will Ospreay, one of the uprising stars. He's wrestling in Japan now. Zack Sabre Jr., he wrestles. Lance Archer was wrestling in Japan for a while with Davey Boy Smith before now. Obviously, now he's in AEW. So they have a lot of big names. They have a lot of great talent there. That's just name a handful. I mean, Brock Lesnar wrestled there for a short while. In fact, he had a match with Nakamura. Before Nakamura became really well known and famous, Brock Lesnar wrestled there for a short period of time. In fact, he was their world champion. A-Train wrestled there as Giant Bernard. So some big guys there have got really big names over there. Unfortunately, you can't really watch on the stuff unless in the New Japan world. Unless you're lucky to find some matches. They do have some matches like streamed like on YouTube and stuff like that. You can check out like the highlights on there, but yeah, you have to go to New Japan World and subscribe to them. Basically, it's the same price as WWE. It's like $10. They get everything New Japan related, like pay-per-views and matches, stuff like that. Oh, the comfort of my own home, so getting back to normal. Do you like The Rock? Okay, okay, I'm assuming you're asking me this now. Okay, so you're not taking Ricky Roma. You're talking to me. Okay. Honestly, this may piss people off, but I was never a Rock fan. I never was a Rock guy. I was more of a Stone Cold guy. I was more of a Stone Cold fan. But The Rock was very popular. He was very entertaining. I do respect the guy as a person. I think he's a really good actor. But I was never really the biggest Rock fan. I was more of the Triple H, Stone Cold, Mankind, Undertaker type of guy. That's what I was more into. Also, Randy caught AJ as the Flat Earther on Corey Grace podcast. Oh, that's Flat Screen Gamer? Who cares? That's what I think. Who cares? I never heard any of those guys. Well, unfortunately, dude, I hate this. You're missing out on a lot. You're missing out. I feel bad. You are really missing out. John Cena, I was never a big John Cena fan. I'll say this. Actually, I liked John Cena from 2002 to 2005, back when he was the Dr. Thugonomics. But then once he started going Super Cena and I'm Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, Respect, that, yeah, he got really old quick. Dawson Jackson Rogers Pro Country Game. He deserves to get shit on. I mean, this is a guy that's shitting on Black Lives Matters, and it's a big deal right now. Like, we should all be supporting Black Lives Matters. We should not be supporting racists. Look, I love the Forgotten Sons, but Jackson Ryker had to open up his mouth in Twitter, and he got himself in trouble. I don't think he will personally be buried because WWE are full of Trump supporters, but the locker room ain't gonna like him. I'll tell you that right now. The locker room's gonna give him dirty looks. Um, well, you can't even let Trump without getting Sam L. So much for torrent left. Yeah. Is this really going to be a political debate? Look, there's no debate. I'm going to just nip this in the bud, and at this point, I don't care what anybody says. Trump's a moron. He's a racist. He needs to be out of power. Facts. You're not going to fight this. You're not going to win this battle. He is one of the biggest problems right now. I get he was a celebrity. He's a Hall of Famer, which makes you cringe. But look, he's proven he can't handle anything. He's a coward. He's not a leader. He could have ended this Black Lives Movement stuff and found a solution, but he's not doing anything about it. In fact, he's making things worse. And WWE superstars have a right to be pissed because this guy is heavily involved with the whole Black Lives Matter shit. He's part of the problem. And here's the thing. Trump is not pro Black Lives Matter. He's not. And a lot of the WWE superstars are pro Black Lives Matter. So of course they're going to crap on Jackson Ryker. But it's more than just him being a Trump supporter. It's more on the fact that he posted stuff back in the day saying like Black lives don't matter. That's the bigger issue. It's not just him being a supporter of Trump. It's the fact that he's basically saying fuck Black lives. There are tweets of him making these racist insults and saying fuck Black Lives Matter years ago. Not even like a year ago. He still feels that way. That's why the wrestlers are pissed at him. Trump's just one half of the equation. The other half is this whole Black Lives Matter stuff, and unfortunately, it's in controversy. But at this point, there's kind of no controversy about it. It's horrible. And we need to stick together. We need to support everybody. We need to support our black brothers and sisters, because this has been going on for way too long. No, don't political or debate about it. What's going on right now is terrible. It's horrible. We need to end racism. We need to end hate. And unfortunately, Trump is exactly all of that. There is no debate. Again, I hate politics, but I'm going by the facts. I'm going by what I've been hearing, I've been reading, and from my own listening. I've been listening. I'm sorry. It's the truth. And wrestlers have a right to feel that way. Look, if Ryder is a Trump supporter, great. That's fine to have an opinion, but he needs to learn to keep his mouth shut. Because we live in a world where people are dying for a majority of the time for no reason. We need to be staying together and helping each other out, not to bring each other down and use racism comments. But unfortunately, that is what's happening. And unfortunately, it's created basically the Civil War. In my opinion, unless somebody does something, it's only going to get worse. More people are going to die. More people are going to get hurt. It's just how it is, dude, guys. It's horrible, yeah, but it's the truth. That's the cold hard truth about it. No debating. I know you hate Joe Cornette, but interview the revival actually pretty good. I'm not gonna check out, but I have read some Monster's thoughts about it, so I know the basics of what happened. Flat screen gamer. Imagine expecting tolerance of cesspool of human toxin. That is Twitter. You ain't wrong about that. Trouble path, buffering. That's great. All right, Drew is a rough play. It's a pretty toxic place. Yeah, no, I think we agree with that. Drew New Japan is good, but I can't find it anywhere else. Well, like I said, you can check out some of the New Japan matches on YouTube. You can type out highlights and stuff like that. But if you really want to find all the action, go to New Japan World. Like I said, it's $9.99. It's the same price for the WWE Network, so it's not that expensive at all. It's worth it. There's a lot of content you can check out. You get all the pay-per-views for free. You get commentary, either Japanese commentary or English. English is good, but I really love the Japanese commentary. There's more excitement, I think, in those matches. They add more to it, in my opinion. Are you sure about that, Trouble Path? Okay, speaking of the Raw, did you like This Is Your Life Rock segment? I really can't answer that. I can't answer that. It's been a while since I watched that segment. I mean, I remember some big parts being kind of funny, but a lot of people call the group one of the funny segments all the time. Me personally, it wasn't as funny or as great. I think I've seen better. And I mean, it did give me some laughs, and don't get me wrong, but I do think it's kind of overrated at times. I think it's kind of overrated. Are the Bell Trans Hall of Famers? Yeah, technically, yes. They were inducted to the Hall of Fame earlier this year, but because WrestleMania, because of the whole situation, they didn't do the Hall of Fame this year. But Twins are technically Hall of Famers. I just don't know when they're going to do the ceremony, but they were inducted to the Hall of Fame. Same thing with the NWO, Batista, JBL, Jushin Thunder Liger, the British Bulldog. Those names were all technically, those guys are technically in the Hall of Fame. They just haven't done the ceremony yet. It's funny how 15 years ago, you'd probably be in line with everyone in the locker room, and now both Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels spoke out in favor of Black Lives Matter. Yeah. And Randy Orton. Yeah. Trouble Path, I think that's applause there, or pray. I'm not too sure. Dr. Garrett, imagine praising the president who bullies 75-year-old man. Yeah. Yeah, I've already seen those videos. Those are disgusting. But we're going to move on. Thoughts on Jinder Mahal? You know, I've talked about him. I will say his WWE title run was not very good. But some people call it the worst title reign. I've seen way worse. Guys, remember, Great Khali was once World Heavyweight Champion, okay? That reign was a million times worse. No, I think Del Rio was worse because I never even liked Del Rio. I actually like Jinder Mahal to a certain extent. I kind of like Jinder. I don't think he's like the greatest in-ring wrestler of all time, but there is something about it I do enjoy. He's not the perfect wrestler. He's not like this athletic gifted super beast, but I like it to a certain degree. I have no real problem with it. Although, like I said, I think his title reign was not very good. Who was a better wrestler, Eddie Guerrero or Chris Benoit? I would say, on a technical standpoint, Benoit. But who I preferred, I was more of an Eddie Guerrero fan. Eddie Guerrero will always be one of my favorites. Now, I like Benoit, but he was never one of my favorites. I was more of an Eddie Guerrero guy. So, if you want a more wrestling-based match, Benoit's more your guy, but Eddie Guerrero, he was a great wrestler too, but he could fly, he could move around, he had the light sheet steel gimmick, he could talk, he had this charisma about him. Because let's be honest, guys, Eddie Guerrero was 100,000 times more charismatic than Benoit. I mean, Eddie Guerrero could talk. Benoit was not really much of a talker. Great in the ring, but he was not really much of a talker. But Eddie Guerrero was everything. I loved Eddie. I really miss Eddie. I really do. Yeah, I'm more of an Eddie Guerrero guy. As terms of wrestling, I would say Benoit is a slight better wrestler, but Eddie Guerrero, I was more of a fan of. We're actually going over those, so I'll answer a few more questions. Does Leo Rush have a better chance of being a manager or a wrestler at this point in his life? Well, right now, he's not really doing wrestling. I would say have a keep him wrestling because he's a fantastic wrestler, but he could be a good manager. He's proven that he was not a bad manager. But right now, he's focusing, I think, on music. I know he did a music video. He's doing music and stuff like that. So he says he's done from wrestling, but he's not done. I think he'll return one day. But as of right now, he's focused on his music career. But I think putting the right promotion, the right company, I say wrestler. Because that's what he was known for being a wrestler. He was never really meant to be a manager. He was a wrestler. A damn good one. Unfortunately, his mouth got him in a lot of trouble. Kind of similar to Enzo Amore, except Enzo was not really that great of a wrestler. What Dark Reading episodes do you want next season? None. Personally, I'm not that big. I never watched Dark Side of the Ring. I never really gravitated towards them. I never was interested in them. That's just me being honest. But if I had to pick one, probably one about Brian Pillman. But I mean, that's one on the top of my head I could think of. The reigns were usually short, so they didn't drag as much. But but the guy I actually hated. I hate the guy as a wrestler and as a person in real life. Jinder, I never hated him as a wrestler. That's the big difference. I'd rather have a wrestler that I semi-like but have his ring drag than have someone I absolutely despise and hate and having him even sniff the title. I'm on a Grizzle, Smith, and Jake Roberts episode. I'm out. See you, person. Okay. Yeah, so we've been out here for over an hour. I think this is a good time. Kind of stop now. But I'm quite surprised how many people we got in pretty quickly. Over an hour, one of the longer Q&As I did. Like I said, guys, go check out the links down below in the description. Support my friends there, Kimberly and her husband, Mike. Independent wrestlers. Support them, please. Follow them on Instagram and Twitter if you have any. Other than that, more likely a Backlash review Sunday. I don't know what else is going to happen moving forward. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But either that, I'm going to go ahead and end this video off. Again, thank you guys so much for coming in the chat. Send me your comments and questions. Either that, I'm going to just say take care of my peeps. Have a good night.